This is from the rooftop where our breakfast room is at the Astoria Hotel, the first hotel that we're staying in. This is up here in the room where, right next to where we have breakfast. I don't know what that represents. It looks like a part of a statue that was preserved. Here we're taking a railway up to the Stanserhorn on our second day in Lucerne, but when we got to the top, there was nothing but clouds. This is the train station in Lucerne, the main train station, and upstairs at the Western Union office is where you can change your currency, and they charge a flat €4 fee, or 4 franc fee, I guess it is, for the exchange up to €400 or dollars. This is all that remains of the original train station here in Lucerne. And this is from the other side. And of course, in the background, you can see the new train station. On previous trips here to Lucerne, the only place now that the tour buses are allowed to stop is in front of the Hooker watch store. Now, I've ridden on a riverboat called the Wilhelmtel, or maybe it was on this lake, but I have ridden on a Wilhelmtel boat. If you've ever wondered why the Lawn Monument always looks so good after all these years, they come in and redo it like they're doing right now. Here's the pathway back down to the river from up at the wall. And of course, this is the Chapel Bridge. Much of it burned down in 1993 and was reconstructed from photos they had of the original. Someone dropped a cigarette down, and the water thought it would go out, but didn't. If I'm not mistaken, the paintings at this end of the bridge were not destroyed, and these would be the originals. Of course, I think they'd retouch them. Now this is taken from the rooftop today, where the sky is a little clearer. You see a little bit better clarity. Over Lucerne.
Gutter, or you might trip, but as long as you keep under the lights, you're on the safe side. And then also because of humidity, there's a couple of wet patches, so leave enough room. The facility was built between 1970 and 1976, and back then these filters, air filters, were apparently able to filter any then known nuclear, biological and chemical agent, so that people in the tunnels could have been provided with fresh air if everything had been contaminated. A little overview of the building, and I will also explain to you what we're about to do. We started on the left, so this tunnel is the former staff entrance tunnel with the 20,000 tallies, which is walked down, and at the end of the tunnel back there, we took a quick stop. And I mentioned that we were right above one of the two tunnels. So these two black things are the motorway tunnels that run through the 7-story cavern, and which would have held 10,000 people originally. Photo, we're up here, and this is what's happening downstairs. Back there, you can see here, wall back there, and the one which is open here, and the width of this room is the same as is the diameter downstairs in the tunnel, which allowed us to create an exact copy of the infrastructure that you would have found downstairs in the tunnel along this section of the tunnel. In total, with toilet areas and doors. And the main difference here is the ceiling, which is lower.
This is the view from the shelter into the traffic tunnel.
Good. So in this, you will get an explanation about those were taken shortly before downsizing started in 2006. And this is what it used to look like in most rooms and hallways of this building. This is some of the 450 tons of stored infrastructure. Yes, well, as you can tell, it's not a very big kitchen because it is never planned. It doesn't say what it is because back in the days they didn't have to declare ingredients yet. According to instructions, it's a powder which is edible mixed with water. So they would have used these cookers here to prepare the survival element for staff and patients. Already in the 70s, they could have made a connection to the communal water supply network. They could have purified water from our city river, or they could have extracted groundwater. And only if these three options had failed,
This is the Barren Bear Pits. Been a long time since I've seen them. He's found him something. He doesn't know whether he likes to eat it or not. Now he's posing for us. Or maybe he wants us to throw something to him, but I don't think you're supposed to. I'm not sure what this is. It's fake bears and humans. So is that a bear pit? This is looking at part of Bern from the location of the bear pit.
Bern's most important features right away. For example, here is one of the oldest hotels. On the whole, impressed him so much that he wrote his girlfriend Charlotte in Germany that this was the most beautiful city he had ever visited. This here is the Justice Fountain, one of 11 historical fountains. They're an important feature of the city. There is a great deal of German solidity. There is some French elegance in some of these Baroque facades. This system of arcades, though, is the most important feature. That's the largest, most extensive system of arcades, covered sidewalks or porticos, not quite sure what to call them. We have 4 miles of these. They're a derivation of the Roman market halls, an Italo-Mediterranean element in the city. Have a look to the right. Measuring. It features one of a handful of astronomical clocks in original condition. This gap here was a trench at first, then it was made into the moat, and when it wasn't needed anymore, it was filled in with the leftovers of the big fires, and that's when they created their first square here on the right. Switzerland is based on the Greek democracy and the Roman Republic. And if you're here in the center and you have the time to walk around a bit, there's a beautiful terrace on the other side that has a parliament with a view of the lower part.
Daar wil ik even Brexit Azië. Dat is goed gekomen.
Maio, e foi abrindo gradualmente os restaurantes, né?
Nel momento che arriva via quello,
On the opposite side, you see a sun changing from Taurus to Gemini. The moon is also in its astrological sign. The moon can turn around its own axis and shows the moon phases. And here gets the sign to the top. And you have to look very fast to see that single stroke. It's not finished yet. The rooster needs to crow last time. What we could do is go slowly, walk to the tower, then the rooster will crow, we'll go under the tower and show you some things in the tower.
This is looking out over Lake Geneva.
The name of the grape variety, because if there is a name of the village and it's white, then it's Chasselas grape variety. The Chasselas is the king grape variety here in that. Cheers. Something with disease or not looking good or not tasting good, then it stayed directly in the field. So my team just selects only the best directly in the field, and it's coming in boxes of about 20-25 pounds, and then we press it. Okay, we press. Yeah.
Very small winery. This is the labeling machine over there to the left. They really like to decorate along Lake Geneva with these flowers and everything. And they have the sculptures along the lake, as well as all these flowers. This is the Chilean Castle.
understand and see the whole shape of the building, we are here on the where the red flag is, yeah, it helps us understand the whole history of the castle. One step up and one down, and the stone is a bit slippery. So yeah. Yeah, this is the kind of food and merchandise we could have found here. If you have a look, you can see that there is in this room some stairs, and they are going. So the reason why you're here is because this poem from Lord Byron, did that going to visit, and people used to write their name to as a testimony they were here. So these are the names of all the visitors across. You would have sitting very far away from him. It was a very bad sign to be sitting far away from him. And maybe you would have tasted the nude. It was used for exactly to have water in the room and to be able to wipe in case of emergency, because there is a way going directly to the key that is the safest place of the castle. It was used to. Now the business room, it's just in front, behind you on your left.
That wouldn't need it.
They call this the business room because they actually sat in here and talked business and politics while doing their business. Well, I'm standing over here to talk to you.
The window of the Lord's bedroom. If we have a closer look at it, we can see that there is still remaining of blue colors. And blue colors was very used to show the importance of sunlight, because we have blue thought for security. And the little windows, they were used to survey and to survey the castle like the guardians used to do it. And we will meet again in the first courtyard. I hope you had a great time here in Chillon. If you have time now, you can on the drive. I will give you, and I don't know if everyone received this map. If you
They have a Ferris wheel here on the lake. I don't know who Rodot is, but here's his statue. So I'm on a little tram that's going to go part way around the lake.
est entraîné par un moteur électrique fonctionnant à l'aide d'une batterie de 80 volts et 600 ampères, pesant à elle seule 1600 kg. Je mesure 18 mètres de long. Devant vous, à 140 mètres de hauteur et à une vitesse de 200 km/h grâce à une turbine de 1300 chevaux qui propulse en permanence plus de 7 tonnes d'eau en l'air. Symbole de notre cité, le jet d'eau a été créé en 1880.
Far off, just like a mermaid, are the ships and the sails. This statue was sculptured in 1940 by the artist Henry Koenig. We're already reaching the Port Noir, the Black Harbour, a place dear to the heart of the Genevieve, because that's where the Swiss troops landed on the 1st of June 1840.
We are departing from Lucerne on the boat, and we will be ending up at our hotel in Montreux. But the boat will make several stops before we reach there. We're now coming into the first port after Lucerne on the way to Montreux. Turns out that the port is Saint Gingolf, which they say is right on the border of France. That's Saint Gingolf. We are now coming into Saint Gingolf, which is a city on Lake Geneva close to the border of France. And the boat is heading close to that castle we visited earlier.
Yeah. To be honest,
This is an old, small Roman Colosseum, but they've taken out all the old seats and put in cement benches. And they've erected some statues here of Roman emperors. And since we're near St. Bernard Pass, they sell in the souvenir shop these little St. Bernard dogs. Very expensive though. $20, $30, $40, $50, $60.